Hello, my name's Eric Evian. I'm the founder of IGRE Publishing and the lead game designer for IGRE Publishing. We've decided to go on with a proprietary system for role-playing games, a engine that was derived from about 10 years of game development at this point. So this is the public unveiling of the IGRE Publishing system as it's known so far. Everything I'm going to show off today is subject to change as I continue development, but I believe this is a pretty solid core for what we're doing in the future here. As it stands right now, our main game, Swordland RPG, is basically being rewritten from the ground up. However, I have a system here, a game called Itty Bitty Quest, which is actually the first game I ever worked on. I started development on this in 2011. It's a D4 based dice pool mechanic game. And the main reason when I started IGRE Publishing in 2012 and focused on the Swordland game was kind of the fact that I figured that the majority of people would not have enough D4s. A lot has changed in 10 years since I started IGRE, so I figure people got a lot of dice now. And if you don't, you got apps. So I think we got the problem fixed by now. Right, let's get this underway. I am going to build a brand new character using the IGRE system as it would be used in Itty Bitty Quest. So in the IGRE system, there are 10 stats so far. They're broken down to 6 general stats, which kind of reflect your character's body, mental state, characteristics. And then you have 4 combat stats, and those would be used for your attack, your passive defense, and if you're playing a casting type character, your arcane magic casting ability or your divine magic casting ability. As it stands right now, we are currently rebuilding the whole magic system for our game engine. So currently, we're just going to focus on building a warrior type character today. Right, let's get this going. So to generate stats, we're going to roll 4d4 in Itty Bitty Quest. So we're just going to go down the line here. We got a 4, a 2, a 2, and a 1. So that would be 9. We'll just write that down. We got 5, 8, another 9. And we're going to see a major difference in how this system operates in comparison to others in just a second here. 7. 7. A 13, pretty good for a starting character. 8. And finally for today, 9. Okay, so this is kind of about an average character. So we're going to arrange this to taste. We're building a martial character, a warrior, your generic warrior. IGRE's system as it stands, basically any character, fantasy archetype you could think of would be able to be built in this system, and probably a lot of things I didn't even account for. So to start with, the biggest change from other systems in comparison to our IGRE system is the numbers you roll to generate your stats basically don't apply or non-applicable at all past the point of character creation. So what I mean by that is we're just going to be worried about the bonuses or the negatives after character creation. So at 13 would translate to a +2. We are going to throw that in the character's physical, which would represent their body health and then body strength. We got a number 9, so we'll throw a 9 in finesse, which is the kind of your character's flexibility, ability to use various objects, shoot bows, those kinds of things. So a 9 would be a 0, so there's no bonus whatsoever for the character whenever they use finesse. Awareness is general kind of frame of mind, your ability to kind of sniff out social situations when encountering people, your general perceivability of situations, locations you're in, those sorts of things. We'll make that, we'll put like a 9 in there as well, so that's also a 0. Intellect is your general ability for recounting information, learning information, all that sort of things. We'll plug a 9 in there, so right now a character stands at a +2 bonus in their physical, and no bonus in finesse, awareness, intellect. Charm's your general stat for dealing with people, your kind of social magnetism, other such things. We'll plug 8 in there. So that's also actually a negative, so that would be a -1. After that, we have, let's see, we have, oh, my apologies, I missed a roll here. We are doing this live. 11. Okay. So luck is a stat that could help you or benefit you in certain situations. You might actually be able to spend your luck bonus in certain situations. That's to be determined as we continue work on this system. So since we got the 11, which would translate to a +1 bonus, we're going to throw that in luck. Actually, no, we're not throwing that in luck. We're going to throw that into the next stat we'll talk about. We're going to make this guy unlucky. We're going to plug a 7 at a -1 penalty into luck. So he has a -1. And now attack is going to be the amount of dice you would roll per bonus whenever you make a attack roll in combat. So say this character, if I put a +1 bonus, you'll always receive 1 at least, but since you're going to have a +1 bonus, that would translate out to 2 dice, like that. So we'll put a +1 into the attack there, off the 11 that we rolled earlier. And then we will put a 7 in the defense stat, which translates to -1. So this guy passively is going to receive a -1 to his armor rating in the future, and we are also working on that system. So as this character stands, they have a +2 in their physical stat. There's no modifier in finesse, awareness, intellect. They have a -1 in charm, a -1 in luck, and then their combat stats, a +1 in attack and a -1 in defense. So now that we've got the stats, and you'll notice once those numbers were plugged in to generate the stats, they never get used again. You don't have to worry about half steps when it comes to improving your character's stats in the IGRE system. So at this point, we're going to move on to generating health. Health's going to be determined by a certain amount of dice depending on the archetypal character you're building, and then is modified by the physical results. So right here, we got 5, 7, and then +2 from the physical, so this character would start off with 9 health. So they could take a few hits before going down in combat, which is good. At this point, we're going to pick out the start of the IGRE system's most defining feature. That's innate general combat magic abilities system. And you could shorten that to IGCM. Quite a catchy name there, I know. But so what that means is there's 4 separate things in the IGRE system that modifies how your character works throughout the games. Innate abilities, or the defining features about your character that define what they're able to do in the game. Whether they're a warrior that's utilizing, you know, long swords, or they're using heavier weapons like a maul, for example, or if you're building a thievish type that's really good at sneaking, so on and so forth. Magic caster that's really great with casting magic, so on and so forth. All those types of characters are easily built within the system, and you can mix and match, as to be described later, any of these innate abilities anytime you want upon receiving a new level. So you pick out one innate ability once you build your character, and then every level up you'll also receive a new innate ability to choose from the list, and continue further, either going down the path you'd started, or you can mix and match to make any sort of character you want to build. So when it comes to this guy here that we're building today, we're going to choose Combat Training Physical. And what that means is the character is able to, when they make an attack roll, they can add their physical bonus to the attack roll. So, if they had not picked this innate ability, they would only roll 1d4 by default. Since they got the physical training, combat training, with this character with a +2 bonus, they'd be able to roll 3. And this would be used to determine if you hit an opponent in combat. With that, this concludes this particular section of this series of videos coming out today explaining the IGRE system. There's going to be a further video showcasing the general abilities of the IGRE system, and a third video showing off an example of combat. And I will see you in the next video.